Hey folks, Libby here once again. Welcome back to another review. Hope you enjoyed my review of Blue Beetle. I can't say that actor's name right, but he was Miguel in Cobra Kai. He's the one that stars in that movie. Hope you enjoyed my review of Blue Beetle. That is on my channel right now if you want to hear more of my thoughts and opinion on that movie. And also Teenage Mutant Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I reviewed that yesterday. If you want to hear my thoughts on those two movies, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and Blue Beetle. Uh, they're on my channel right now. And guys, what I've been doing on my channel, remember this is my new YouTube channel, Live McNally 983 with a mass profile picture. If you're subbed to this channel, stick to this channel. Yeah. And also, I will warn you, let you guys know, just always be respectful of my opinion on movies. Just be respectful. Just respect my opinion. We can agree to disagree on movies. And when you comment, just comment about the movie or comment something nice. Don't comment something stupid. Some guy said I look like Danny DeVito recently. I'm like, I look nothing like Danny DeVito. But if you're gonna make stupid childish comments like that, I'm just gonna delete it. I ain't got time for it. So any rude comments or any comments that I think are dumb or sound stupid to me, I ain't got time to deal with you. I'll just delete the comment. Just comment about the movie. And if you haven't seen the movie, come back and then comment about the movie, okay? Or when you comment, just be respectful, okay? Or you're welcome to talk to me about something. It's fine, you know. But yeah, I always like hearing you guys' thoughts on the movie. And if you haven't seen the film, don't waste your time commenting on here then. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like an ass, but, you can comment to see how I'm doing. Like, say if you said, Leva, how you doing today? I'll let you know. Yeah, just don't make me ridiculous comments, okay? Yeah. On my channel, yeah, I've been told, somebody's told me that I was ugly. And now someone's telling me I look like Danny DeVito. I look nothing like him. But anyway, I just want to clarify that. Just, you can comment, just comment either about the movie or just comment something nice to say. If you just ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Okay? Yeah. Did you ever learn that when you were a kid? I did. Anyway, so guys, what I've been doing on my channel is a superhero marathon. I've been doing what I call the 2020s era of superhero reviews. These films came out in the decades we live in now, 2020 decades. Starting with the year, I've been on the year 2023. I've only got three movies. Well, after this will be two movies. Now, this one is a DC animated film. This is part two of film. This is the 56th film in the DC Universe animated original movies. It's where the Justice League team up. It is loosely based on the limited crossover comic book series are RWBY, X Justice League, and DC are written by Margaret Bennett. And co-production of Rooster Teeth Productions, DC Entertainment, and Warner Bros. Animation. Yeah. And of course that is Justice League, X RWBY, Superheroes, and Huntsman Part 2. Now just like the first one, Part 1, I wasn't a fan of this movie. I cannot get into it. Just these movies I'm not into. They are anime, pretty much. And I'm not really into anime. Now, I don't mind, you bringing something new to the table, but I get it. They're trying to do something new, I guess, or something different. But with this, I just didn't care too much about this movie. These movies, I was not a fan of. Part 1, I didn't like too much. I was not a fan of it. Now, this is not going to be a rant. I don't hate this movie. I just didn't really care for them. I just didn't care for this film. It has a lot of problems, I think, and I just was not a fan of the film. It just wasn't my cup of tea, is what I'm saying. And if you like the movies, that's fine. You know, I hope there's no part three coming out, but I think that, yeah, but they're based on the comic book, so of course, DC, I just wanted to expand on that. They do a lot of their movies, try to bring the comic books that they have to animated movies, you know. But this film was okay, but I was not a fan of it. It's just meh, in my opinion. So meh. Anyway, so let's get into it. So part two was directed by Yossi Boldo. Also, I guess both parts are written by Megan Fitzmartin. Also, if you want to hear my reviews on the first part, it is on my channel right now. It is based on RB, RWBY, Justice and Justice League by Margaret Bennett, Agnet Markey, and Enflo. I'm sorry, I can't say his name right. The music is by David Livy. She's by Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. The first part was released on my brother's birthday. That was April 25th, 2023. Yeah. And October 17th, this part was released. So that's why, yeah, part two was released. This part was released on October 7th, 17th, direct to video, I mean. Yeah, yeah. And this part is only 75 minutes long. It's about, I think, 1 hour and 15 minutes, something like that. Yeah. But for the voice cast, you have Chandler, sorry, Travis Willingham voices Superman Clark Kent Part 2. He's done some voice work for some other animated cartoons and shows as well. Hmm. And Troy Baker voices Bruce Wayne Batman in Part 2. Troy Baker, he's known for voicing you probably know him for voicing the Joker in Batman Arkham Origins. Oh, he did a voice work for the video game. Oh, he voiced Indiana Jones. Yeah, I want to get that new Indiana Jones movie. I think it's on PS4 or PS5. Sorry. Troy Baker, like I said, I know he's worked with DC before. Trying to look. Some DC is, yeah. He voiced Joker and two voicing Batman Unlimited versus Mutants. Oh, he voiced Joker and Batman Unlimited Monster Mayhem. Some of the Lego DC comics, DC animated movies, he voiced Batman, I guess. Yeah, he did some other voice work as well. And Diana Prince, Wonder Woman, in part two, she's voiced by Laura Bailey, who's done some voice work for Dragon Ball Z and some other animation work as well for some animated cartoons. Victor Stone's I guess in both parts, is voiced by True Valentino. Beavis and Butthead do the universe. He did voice work for that. Ruby Rose character, she's voiced by Lindsay Jones. Barry Allen the Flash is voiced by David Demeshki in part two. Oh, David Demeshki, oh, good voice actor. Yeah, he's worked with DC before. He was in The Dark Knight. He was the guy that the mental patient that works for the Joker that is kidnapped by Harvey Dent. You know when he's flipping his coin. And of course he was Kurt in the Ant-Man franchise. In Ant-Man 3, he voiced a character named Veb. And in The Flash, he was Abracadabra. And he was Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad. Yeah. And he was in Blade Runner 2049. In Batman on Halloween Part 1 and Part 2, he voiced Julian Day Calendar Man. Hmm. Jessica Cruz Green Lantern, she's voiced by Gina Trio. She's done some animation work. Vixen is voiced by Musk Havnuk. I can't say her name right, I'm sorry. But she's worked in some Marvel shows like Runaways, What If, some DC ones too. Kilgore is voiced by True Valentino. Arthur Watts is voiced by Christopher Sabat. I'm just looking at these people. It's just a lot of voice work. Jamie Chung as Diana Lane, Black Canary. Oh, Jamie Chung, I remember her in Gotham season. She was in Gotham, season 3 of Gotham. She was one of the Hooters girls in An Apprentice of Chuck and Larry. She was in Grown Ups, working with Adam Sandler. Big Hero 6, another superhero movie, but from Disney. And Batman Stole the Dragon, she plays Jade Nugan. I'm just looking up Gotham. Let's see. Oh, Valerie Vale. Yeah, but she didn't last long in Gotham. But she was good in season 3, I thought. Yeah. J. Michael Tatum is Clint Sibbin. He did some voice work too. Kurt Baker also voices Mirror Master in here. Maxwell Friedman voices Killer Croc. Waylon Jones, he was a wrestler as well in real life, I guess. Okay. And he also was in Happy Gilmore 2 as a no-can, which I have not seen yet. But for the plot of the movie, still the same as the first one. The film centers, it's basically takes after part one. After the Justice League get back to their world, they face these creatures called the Grimm, and the Ruby's team, led by Ruby Rose, they get back to their, these Grimm. But unfortunately, Grimm and this character, we find out it's this doctor that's all behind it. Ruby Rose kind of explains it if you haven't seen the first part. If you see part two, she like explains in the beginning. They have defeated superpower Grimm and a group of supervillains. Also, some of the villains like Killer Croc and Mirror Master and Wither Wizard come to help out, including an old enemy of Ruby 2. So Justice League and Ruby. In part two, they get back to the worlds, but they have to team up together again. Ruby has to come to the Justice League world, their world. They have to team up, find out who's behind this, who finds out who's behind these monsters, and who's bringing these monsters to attack their world. And they have to, along with Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and the rest of and Green Lantern, the Flash, Cyborg, and Vixen, and Black Canary, Ruby and her team, they all have to team up and they have to find out who's behind this and defeat them and take them down for good. And of course, the Rubies have to go back to their home as well. Yeah. So, so it's pretty much the same plot as part two. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this. Oh, let me get this little cover off. Yeah. I probably won't be keeping this movie. Like I said, I'm not a fan of it. But if you are interested, you see, I got back the bond between Justice League and Ruby. You Look Different, RWBY on Earth. Just talking about the film. And again, if you want to hear my thoughts on part one, just go watch that review. What I was saying about the movie. I And also, there's going to be spoilers in this review. So if you haven't seen Justice League Ruby Part 1 or Part 2 here, turn the review off right now. And do not go watch the review for the first part, okay? Don't spoil it for yourself, please. I don't want you to spoil the movie for yourself. Mm, yeah, yeah. Don't spoil anything for yourself, okay? So anyway, getting into it, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the movie itself. I just described the plot synopsis. So I'm gonna get into the movie itself and give my final thoughts on it. So here we go. So Justice League RWBY, Superhero Huntsmen Part 2. Here we go. And remember, spoilers in this review, so turn the video off right now if you've never seen this movie or the first part. So, it's probably like I said, if you got HBO Max or Max on streaming, the movies on both parts on there if you want to watch them to see your own thoughts on them. Anyway, okay, here we go. So part two, Justice League Earth. RWBY Superhero Huntsmen Part 2. Okay. So basically, it takes place after the Justice League escaped the digital trap. You have Ruby Rose talking about that she met Superman, but as Clark, they were teenagers. They fought the Grimm. The Grimm are these evil creatures that want to kill people, hurt people, and the Flash was taken over by like an AI of this doctor that took over this Grimm who took over, or Kilgore. They call him Kilgore. Kilgore, of course, is working with somebody, as you find out in this part. You find out who the real villain is here in part two. Uh, Kilgore took over Flash's mind, but they were able to team up together. They defeated him, and so after that, the Justice League, that is Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Cyborg, Flash, Green Lantern, and Vixen, wake up as adults in the Hall of Justice. Then you see Black Canary. It was cool to see Black Canary. Yeah. Informs them that when they were unconscious, at the battle of Kilgore, that they were brought in to be healed. So then explains that their world is being attacked by the Grimm. Yeah, they decided to call them in for help. You see Ruby Rose and her team, they're fighting Grimm. Ruby, has like the teleport power. She kind of just jumps into situations without thinking real quick, and she gets herself into danger. and her sister gets mad, like, why are you doing this? You're gonna get yourself killed, and she doesn't want to listen. I did not care about the RWBY team, to be honest. I mean, the girl with the ice powers, she seemed pretty cool, but again, I didn't care for the RWBY team. I don't care if they're from the comic books or whatever. I care less. You know, never read it, So they called them in for help. Yeah. But anyway, the Justice League calls this gorilla. This grim you have Killer Croc. Killer Croc defeats is like this kid's about to get attacked by one of the grim creatures. And Killer Croc, one of Batman's foes, aka Waylon Jones, who was Killer Croc. Because the kid's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm protecting you, idiot!" And Batman shoots a batarang. Throws some batarangs at the creature. Batman Cyborg and Vixen fight. I think it was that or Black Canary, but fight. Then one of them is like the grim. They can turn into any kind of monster, like a dragon, a gorilla. One of them turns to a scorpion, and it stings Batman. So Batman's out of mission for a little while, which I thought sucked. But you find out Killer Boy took out Batman, though he did it first because Batman is, even though Batman doesn't have no powers, of course, did it because Batman as a detective will find out what he's up to. So, in order to protect their plan, Killer Boy and the person he's working for's plan, they have to take out the world's greatest detective first. So Batman's out of commission for a while. They contact RWBY, you know, the RWBY team, and Batman can be stubborn. He's like, "That's my city." But like, "You need to rest." So like, "I need to." Then the girl that he worked for in the first part, when he was a teenager and he had like really bat wings and stuff. She volunteers to help him out. Oh, her sister's named Yang. Okay. For them, it's been 3 days, but it's been like almost a couple of weeks. You know, as Flash explains, the Flash, Barry is going through a bit of a hard time. It's still messing with his mind throughout the film. You know, that he possessed him. Yeah. But RBY, they have to go help the Justice League. So Green Lantern is gonna Justice League is gonna like use the ring just to teleport them. It works, but they get shot by these robots. Superman's able to use his bullets from her is able to protect it. Like Lantern, close it. And they get different powers as well. Their powers change up. Blake loses her feminist traits and has the ability to shadow bend. Yang gains the power of Fire Fist. Ruby has teleportation powers, and Weeze becomes a normal human. Yeah. The Grim evolves against, is also trying to find their weaknesses. So you have Weeze, Blake, Green Lantern, and Cyborg leave for Gotham to find the poison for Batman. Weeze, she tries to find, she is using one of Mr. Freeze's guns, one of Batman's enemies, Mr. Freeze, using one of his guns. They get the sea monster. Cyborg attempts to take down, almost turning him into a Grim. Yeah, the superheroes they fight Superman along with Ruby. She uses teleportations on the dragon, but the dragon has like a kryptonite heart, and Superman's like Team Justice, like and of course Superman's weakness is green kryptonite. Weakens him, so Superman is barely enough to fight against him. So you have Wonder Woman and Cyborg Vixen come in to help out. They destroy the piece of kryptonite, and they're able to defeat the monster. Yeah, but they return the Hall of Justice. Batman does get his antidote, but he's still passed out for a while. But they put their crew together. They learn that their ally is his Kilgore's ally is Doctor Arthur Watts. He was an agent of Salem who created a digital copy of his own consciousness of a contingency plan, which he escaped to Earth, Kilgore after the fall of Atlantis. So Arthur Watts, he considers him he's a doctor, but he's a bad guy. He considers himself to be a genius, so he wants to create digital worlds and be like the master of the world. Like basically, considers a highly genius, kind of like thinks of himself as godly. You know, so Justice League, of course, had to stop him. But during their battle, though, earlier, Flash, while he was running using super speed, he's Kilgore in these images and tries to punch these images out. It messes with his mind, and he's frustrated. He's like, I don't want this to happen anywhere ever again. And yeah, Yang helps him out. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta get over that traumatization, And Flash does. I did like Flash in this movie. I kind of wish it was just an anime Flash animated movie. I'd rather have that than his live action movie was terrible with Ezra Miller. I'm like, I'd rather get a Flash animated movie, anime movie. That'd be cool. Yeah. Superman trains with Ruby, teaching her that you shouldn't jump in stuff. You don't have to die for somebody. You should just fight for the right thing. Yeah. Cyborg Racer received a call from Killigore. Sorry for ringing up the phone, but this is my first time watching this movie, and I did fall asleep during it. So you also have Weather Wizard, Mirror Master coming in to help. One was like, "Well, no, these aren't good guys in our world, but we'll take all the help we can get." So it ends. It's an end battle with Justice League and Ruby and Breath of the Wild, who almost looks like Doctor Claw a little bit. Not Doctor Claw, Doc Ock a little bit. Has a bit of his tentacles, and he can create these creatures. There are moments though with the Yang character where she uses her firepower, which I thought were pretty cool. Some of the action is decent. That she gets her mind taken over by Kilgore, so does the Flash, and then so does Cyborg. Yeah. And the Flash just like takes over the Green Lantern's mind, just gets like, I do like when Flash punches really fast. Yeah. But this fight, this ending climax is what I had a big issue with. This climax just go. This felt like watching a Transformers movie to me. I mean, the climax here, the fight scene just went on for way too long. I didn't find it exciting. It was just too many characters in one movie. And honestly, I thought it was pretty boring as well with the climax of the film. But eventually, Team Ruby's able to come up against, Dr. Watts is trying to escape. It's just, a battle fights going on and some characters getting hurt and getting possessed, by Killigore. And throughout the movie, Killigore and Watts argue with each other how they're going to take down the Justice League. Didn't care too much for that, you know, or just trying to get into their heads. But Team Ruby is able to convince Dr. Watts that he's smart and why did he need Killigore's help. He's like, yes, Killigore's an idiot, and I just needed his help. And Killigore always has one of the Ruby's team's mind or Justice League minds or whatever. It's like, oh, really? So he possesses his mind and they start to argue and bicker. So Flash is like, shut up. And Flash is able to like beat him up real quick. And they defeat them, trap them in a virtual prison, and ending in the Grimm's rampage in the real world. So Team Ruby bids Real World Justice League, they say goodbye. And meanwhile, Justice League are called into the mission. You see them just standing over City at the end and just continue Justice League and just to bring some justice and save the world. And then the movie ends there. So, yeah. All right, well, let me give my final thoughts on this movie, guys. Maybe some water before I do. Okay. Anyway, Justice League, RB, I mean, X Ruby, Superhero's Husband Part 2. This movie was okay. I did not care for it though. First of all, the story I didn't care for too much. The story, I mean, to be honest, I didn't care for the story too much about the characters and the Grimm characters fighting each other and all this happening. Some of the action is decent though. I do think some of the action is good. I'm not really. Some of the animation is fine. I'm not really big into the anime. I don't like the look of the characters. I didn't care for Team RWBY. The voice cast I think is pretty good for the most part. You know, the lady that voiced like Canary, like she did real good. Troy Baker as Batman does a real good job. But it sucks that Batman he gets better, of course. He knows better to fight, but still, it's sad that Batman was gone for most of the movie. Superman, the suit's still cool. Yeah, yeah. I think the direction is okay. I think the writing was okay, but the story I don't think was very interesting. It was just way too many characters in here, and I wasn't a fan of the animation. The music score I didn't care too much about. Yeah, the action was good. I mean, the runtime was fine, but the runtime I felt like the film dragged, especially like I said, the end climax. It felt like a Transformers movie. It just felt like the action, the climax went on for way too long. It felt like it took forever just to end. The big issue I had with this movie was the pacing, and it was kind of boring at times as well. I just didn't care for Tim Ruby or the Ruby Rose character. I think she's just annoying. You know, to go with the ice powers, though, I thought she was the coolest one, but still, I just didn't care too much about this movie. Yeah, it's cool to see Justice League in the costumes and cool to see Flash use super speed and stuff. But honestly, I just didn't care too much about this movie. It kind of supported me. I can sit here and say I've seen better Justice League movies like Justice League Crisis on Two Earths or Justice League The New Frontier. I think is better than this. Uh, Justice League Doom, Justice League War, especially, I think is a better movie. Justice League Throne of Atlantis, I think is a lot better. Or Justice League versus Teen Titans. Despite that title being misleading, I do think that's a better movie, in my opinion. Yeah, I can sit here all day, guys, and say, or even Zack Snyder's Justice League, depending on how long that. I know that's like a 4 hour movie, but I'd rather watch that over this. That has a more interesting story to me. Yeah, heck, I'd rather take the 2017 movie, just from the Josh Whedon version, over these two parts. These two parts are just, I'm just not really a fan of them. Sorry. No, screw that. I would take neither. I don't like the Justice League 2017 film, just the Zack Snyder cut. Like some of the Justice League animated movies, I said Justice League Doom, really good. A lot of better Justice League animated movies there, and I'd rather watch the cartoon as well. The Justice League show, cartoon show from 2001, is a lot better than this. And the climax just went on and on, just went on for way too long. It just bored me. I'm like, I was hardly paying attention to what's going on. And they probably think, well, you got short attention span. Well, I do when the film bores me. When your story doesn't interest me, this film, the problem is the story's not interesting. I didn't care for the villains. The grim creatures looked alright in CGI. The CGI animation looked alright. With it's anime too. I say it's anime, and I'm not really into anime. They're trying to bring anime in here, it just didn't work for me. Like I said, I really liked the Flash in here though. I did like some characters like Flash and Superman and Batman. I like most of the Justice League in here, especially the Flash. The way he was going through the dramatization of being Barry's mind being messed up. I'd rather just have a Flash movie that's animated or anime. Well, I got Justice League the Flashpoint Paradox, but to have an anime Flash movie, I'd rather have that than the Flash movie we got from Huntsmen through Ezra. That was awful. No, this isn't awful. I would say this is one of the worst right now, but it's not one of my favorites. And I would say it's one of my least favorite DC animated movies too. Yeah, yeah. I just did not care for this film. It just didn't do anything for me. Yeah, it's 75 minutes long, but again, each of it I thought was boring. The story was very bland and not interesting. I wanted to like this show, I really did, but I can't get into these movies. These movies are just, I'm sorry, folks, they're just not my cup of tea. You know. And if you like them, if you've seen part one, part two, if you like them, to each his own. We can agree to disagree. I just don't get it. What's I like about them? To me, they're just boring and uninteresting to watch. Yeah, I just can't get into it. It's just not my cup of tea. So anyway, guys, my rating for Justice League RWBY Superhero Husband Part 2, I'm gonna give it a mildly thumbs down, but more in a nice way. And my rating for the film is 3 out of 5 stars. Because again, Some of the action is pretty good. There's some cool moments. I like the Flash and what he's going through, and yeah, some of the action is good. It's just the pacing is the big issue with the movie, I think, too. The end of the climax felt like it took forever, you know, and it's just too many characters for me. But I do like some of the stuff. And some of the action mostly saves some of the movie. Yeah. It's cool to see the Justice League in action. But the plot and story just were the weakest part for me. So I guess my rating for the film again is 3 out of 5 stars. I mean, Molly thumbs down, or so-so. I'm gonna say so-so. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments down below if you've seen Justice League RWBY, Justice League RWBY, Superhero Husband Part 2. Again, I hate the title too. The title I think is really stupid, but that's just my opinion. I know it's from the comics, and I had to give it the title, but still, the title I think is just really dumb. I don't like the title. And if you've seen the first part, if you like these movies, guys, if you enjoy part one, that's fine. So, guys, what do you think of these films in your opinion? Do you like them? Do you hate them? What do you think of these films in your opinion? Did you like them? Did you like part one better or part two better? Or do you like both parts equally? Or do you disagree with me? If you disagree with me, that's fine. What do you think of them, guys? Justice League RWBY, Superhero Huntsmen. What do you think of part one and this part two as well, in your opinion? Just tell me in the comments down below, guys. What do you think of these movies in your opinion? And how would you rank the DC animated version of movies? And what are some of your favorite Justice League animated movies? And have you seen the Justice League cartoon from 2001 or Justice League Unlimited? And what do you think of them, in your opinion? So tell me in the comments down below. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed my rating for this film. It's 3 to 5 stars, and a mile, and just so. Yeah, it's just a mixed bag for me. Just not a fan of the film. But anyway, that's my opinion on Justice League RWBY, Superhero Huntsman Part Two. So take it for what you will. All right, guys. Yeah, two more. We're almost done with the year 2023. We're almost done with the year 2023. Now I'm going to review a movie that came out in 2022. That will be Catwoman Hunted, but not yet. First, the two 2023 movies. One that came out in November, and the other was December. I know that one came out in December because I saw it in theaters. But anyway, the next one is okay. This is a sequel to Captain Marvel that starred Brie Larson. It is the 33rd film in the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, same thing. And I have it on Blu-ray. It stars Brie Larson, Tina Parrish, and Emil Villainy, and Samuel Jackson. And that is the 33rd film in the MCU, The Marvels. So, which I will be reviewing next, hopefully today sometime. It's a pretty short movie though. It's 105 minutes long. Yeah, I remember this movie not being too long, but that's The Marvels. Yep. And it's been a little while since I reviewed a Marvel movie, I think. But The Marvels, a sequel to Captain Marvel, the 33rd film in the MCU. This will be my next review, so stay tuned for my review for The Marvels, starring Brie Larson. So, that'll be coming up next, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you think of Just League RWBY Part 2 in your opinion. And stay tuned for my next review, which will be The Marvels, coming up next. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye.